me, Alexandria, and in preparation for the new book review segment that I'm going to be doing, I decided that I would give you guys a book tour. I asked some of you guys on Twitter if you would like to see something like that, and I got a few people saying that they would, and I'm excited to do that. And that way now you can also kind of get an idea of some of the books that I'm going to be doing book reviews on. I just gotta say this because I'm really excited about this book review segment, as you could probably tell by my enthusiasm and my large smile. But I came up with this idea on my own that I just decided, you know, I'm gonna do some book reviews on this channel. And I went to go look on YouTube just to see if there are some other people who have done book reviews, expecting just maybe a few videos. And instead, I found that there is an entire booktopia, as some of them call it, of people who love to do book reviews and read books and talk books and breathe and smell books. And I am so excited because when you're growing up, you are like the only person in your room, in your classroom, that love to read. Maybe you have like one other friend that really likes to read, but the majority of the time it's like just you, and everybody else is looking at you like, you're kind of not cool because you read. And you're like, no, I'm really cool because I read all my books on my accelerated reading list. Anywho, to see that there is an entire world out there filled with people who also love to read and do book reviews, it just warms my heart. They actually have a title where they call themselves booktubers. I love that. And so I'm just so excited that I'm gonna be part of this whole booktubia nation and all of that. Yay! So let's get started into some of the books that I'm going to be reviewing behind me. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do this vlog style because it's just a lot easier for me to do it that way. Now, as you can see, my bookcase is color-coded instead of put in order of author because I just think it looks prettier. So here are some books that I have that focus on kind of health or cooking, and they talk about foods and healing properties of food. I think this actually is, yeah, foods and their healing power. And I really like this book because it gives information about how you can use food to heal. One book that I really enjoy is Maya Angelou's Hallelujah, The Welcome Table. I got this from my mother a couple years ago, and I love this cookbook because I'm not really a cook. I don't really enjoy cooking. I love to bake, but I don't really enjoy cooking. However, I love this recipe book because it categorizes things. I'm like tongue-tied here. It categorizes things by certain types of food, and then one of the things that I absolutely love is that there's not a lot of ingredients in most of the recipes. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to cook, is because normally they have like an entire page filled with ingredients, and I hate that. But this book has a lot of foods where it's just minimum ingredients, and then as well, as you could tell, she includes stories behind the foods that she makes, and I really like that because I like to know the history behind why something is your favorite or why you included it in the book. So that is definitely a book that I'll probably be doing a review on in the future. Here are some books that I have that are focused on like fashion or focused on living. One book that I have is called How to Never Look Fat Again, and it's about dressing thinner, and so you can actually look like you've lost weight and yet it's all in your clothing. So I like that. Two other books that I have, this is just another book that I got a couple of years ago from my mom, and just talking about, it's like a girl's handbook to life, and I love the tips and things like that that are in this book. Something like 5 ways to let them know how you feel. And I like looking at books like this and using it for inspiration or just for tips for my own life. And this is another really great book. It's called What to Wear Where. And I really like this book because it gives information on how to dress when you go to different places, like doing an interview or going to a benefit and a fundraiser. And I love using it as inspiration for fashion ideas that I want to use. Yeah, here are some of my counseling books that I have just about here. I have a lot more, as you can tell, but these are a few counseling books that I like. We have some Dr. Gary Chapman. you know how that goes. 5 love languages, anger, and I haven't finished reading this book, but it's so good. And this one I've definitely read more than a few times, and I can certainly do a series and a book review on that. We have some Joyce Meyer, and as we go through our bookcase here, you'll see that I really like Joyce Meyer. I have a lot of Joyce Meyer's books, but this book is called In Pursuit of Peace. I actually haven't read this book either, but I'm really excited to read it because anxiety is something that I kind of struggle with, and so I'm always looking for ways to learn how to overcome and how to develop peace in my heart. And Joyce Meyer is a wonderful speaker. She's a motivational speaker and a Christian speaker, so she has a lot of information. And this whole book, 21 Ways to Conquer Anxiety, Fear, and Discontentment, sounds perfect. So I can't wait to get my hands into that one. If you're someone like me, your emotions are probably really powerful and very passionate, and you feel every single one of your emotions to the utmost. And so I love this book because it teaches you how to actually control your emotions rather than letting them control you. She talks about things like codependency, forgiveness, which is something that I'm really actively pursuing, dealing with mood swings, which I know a lot of people struggle with that. She talks about depression, how not to be led by your feelings, and I love that. So definitely a great book. I will definitely do a review on that in the future. Another awesome book is The Beginner's Guide to Fitness, which I really like this book because I actually like to exercise, and one of the greatest things that I love to do is creating my own exercise routines. And so this book is excellent because it breaks it down by arms and shoulders, legs and back, your core, and then you can create exercise routines all on your own. It gives you warm-ups, and it actually gives you the tips for what you can do to look fit. So I love this book, and it also gives you information on cardio, why that's important, things like that. So good book. A few other books that I have are called, let's see, Love Me, Never Leave Me by Marilyn Meberg. Don't really know how to say that, but but I haven't read this book yet. Somebody gave me this book, and I cannot wait to read it. It looks like it's going to be really good. This is an excellent resource, The Competent Christian Counseling book by Dr. Timothy Clinton and Dr. George, and I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name. You can read it. But this is an excellent resource for people who are in counseling school and are trying to learn how to integrate Christian counseling along with into psychology. Really great book. Another book that I've actually talked about in a video but did not do a book review on it or anything is called Get Out of That Pit by Beth Moore. I really love her as an author and as a speaker. She's really amazing, very God-filled, and very practical. She gives you a lot of information behind the meaning behind the Bible verses, and yet it's not so, you know, philosophical or theological that you don't understand what she's saying. So I really like this, and this book in particular is a really great book for people who are struggling maybe with feelings of depression or inadequacy. It's a very good book for that. I can certainly do a book review on this if you'd like it. Give this video a thumbs up if you can't wait to get the book review on that one. This is my obviously yellow, green, blue shelf. So we have some cooking. This cooking book is called the 1896 Boston Cooking School Cookbook. I really love this cookbook, and it's kind of funny because for somebody who doesn't enjoy cooking, I certainly have a lot of Silver Linings Playbook. I just finished reading this book, and I know a few of you were telling me to do a book review on it. I may do that. I may go ahead and do that. It's now a movie, and I've seen the movie, read the book, enjoyed both of them. If you're somebody who's really interested in mental health, this is also an excellent book just to read for fun. It's fiction, but it caters to people who understand things like that. So I enjoyed that book. I really love this book. This book is actually very, very easy to read simply because it's actually broken down by weeks. And it doesn't just talk about organizing your home, it talks about organizing your life, organizing your mind. We have some of my textbooks here, and then we also have some of my wellness and cooking books. I'm really into natural health and natural healing instead of relying on drugs. I'm not opposed to drugs. drugs at all. But I do, if I can find a way to get healthy without getting antibiotics, then I definitely want to use that. And so I have this wonderful book called Optimal Wellness, and I use this whenever I'm not feeling well and I want to see, is there any kind of vitamins that I can use, or any herbs that I can use to make myself feel better. If you're an early vegetarian, and a new vegetarian rather, not early, then this book, 1,000 Vegetarian Recipes, which you can get on Amazon, is an excellent resource as well, because this will teach you not only recipes, but it also teaches you about the benefits of being a vegetarian, and some things that you need to keep in mind so you can have a healthy diet. We have some more relationship counseling books here. We have Telling Yourself the Truth. Alright, so there are some more of my textbooks and a little bit of fiction down here. This is my red section. One of the books that I really cannot wait to read and do a review on is called The Anxiety Cure. Like I said earlier, this is something that I also personally struggle with, so I really can't wait to get my hands on this book. Here's Jane Austen's book, Emma. Another book that I'm really excited to get my hands on when I start reading it is When I Don't Desire God: How to Fight for Joy by John Piper. This is another excellent resource called Ethnicity and Family Therapy. If you are a counseling student or a counselor already, multicultural counseling is so important to understand, because we obviously live in a very, very, very multicultural society right now. And this book actually breaks down how certain ethnicities view family therapy. This book called Breaking Free by Beth Moore, I really particularly love this book because it's all about learning how to break out of bad habits, how to surrender, and this is just a very inspiring book that I like to read once a year. The Fantasy Fallacy by Shannon Ethridge, which was one of my favorites in my favorites video. This book called What the Heck Am I Going to Do with My Life by Margaret Feinberg. This is a great resource for people who have graduated from college or high school and are looking for direction. I have some of my Bible books here. We have my concordance and my dictionary, and I use this whenever I'm doing my Bible studies or whenever I'm doing my Bible Nuggets videos. I look in here to find out a little bit more background information behind each of the verses that I'm looking at. Then I have my Bible called The Message. I don't always use this translation just because I feel like it gets a little bit lost sometimes, but it is a good book to have just in case you need a little bit more understanding on a difficult verse. Another Bible that I have is called the Serendipity Bible. It's the NIV version, and this is a really great Bible for those who are doing personal Bible studies or small group studies. Alright, so those are the books that are on my bookshelf. I have a ton more, but it would take up way too much space in this video. But those are some of the ideas or the books that you can kind of expect me to do book reviews on. I will also do book reviews on fictional books. I just don't really put a lot of fiction on this bookshelf, but I do have some fiction books like The Host by Stephanie Meyer. That is a book that I will do a book review on as well. I'm trying to think of some other one. Oh, right now I'm reading a book called Faithful by Kim Cash Tate, and that will probably be one of my first book reviews. So I will do some fiction as well as non-fiction, but I just didn't include it on this tour. But I hope you guys like the book tour, and I cannot wait to get started. If you're excited, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and let me know what are your favorite books. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to do a book tour as well, then do it as a video response. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll know when I have a new video up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!